Hi, friendo, Steve here. I'm sitting here with Shayna Baszler, former NXT Women's Champion, maybe upcoming two-time NXT Women's
Your
Champion.
once and future queen.
Okay, there you go. Now, generally speaking, once somebody's had a reign as NXT Women's Champion, NXT Champion, whatever, the next logical step, if it's not going after the title again, is to move up to Raw or Smackdown. You're kind of in an interesting situation right now because one of your best friends is right now, obviously, the current Raw Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey. Do you have a choice? You could either go be able to hang out with her, but I don't think you're like here to hang out. You're here to win gold, right?
I just have unfinished business, you know? I don't have a problem. I mean, we were in the UFC together and she was champ the whole time, so I don't have an issue. Who doesn't want to hang out with their friends at work?
That's true, yeah.
But I have some unfinished business, and it is obviously the title is like the most important, but for me it's the title is just a symbol of the message I need to get across to people, and I have some unfinished work right now. So
now you're a big fan. I've noticed this on social media. You're sort of a history of the game, right? Mm-hmm. Like you're big into the old school shooters.
Yep.
Who are some of the names that you look to for inspiration for your style of fighting that like some of our audience maybe can go back, take a look at, some of the history? Who does Shayna Baszler like from way back in the day?
Well, I think obviously Billy Robinson, since he was one of my coaches. And then just I like to pull from, if you look at a guy like Volkan, obviously I'm not a wrestler like Volkan. I'm very different for obvious reasons. I'm not as massive. But just pulling different things that I can use from a bunch of different wrestlers like that. I really like the Japanese kind of catch wrestling style they have.
Sure.
And if you look at Japanese pro wrestling, a lot of their pro wrestlers, Kazushi Sakuraba probably being the most recognizable one in modern times, would do MMA and pro wrestling at the same time because the pro wrestling in Japan is so realistic, and that's really where my in-ring style comes from. So any of those, I know we were talking about back in the day history, but I love Minoru Suzuki.
Oh yeah,
probably my favorite.
Oh man, that's
wrestler right
my
now.
Co-host Larson. That's his like spirit animal.
Yeah,
like Minoru Suzuki, he's all over him. Yeah.
I love Suzuki, and he trained under the same kind of branch. He trained with Carl Gotch, who trained with Billy Robinson. So I feel this
connection,
mystical kinship with him. Hopefully,
right. No, I can see it. I can totally see it in what we see on TV. Yeah.
If you look at those guys like Bill Robinson, Inoki, I think even a lot of what he did when he was wrestling, and then even some of the women, Akira Hokuto, obviously, judoka herself. So I think. If you start maybe looking up those, you'll go on a black hole of stuff, and you'll start being like, I get it. Because my style over here is not seen very much, especially in the WWE, so I think it's a good place to start for people.
Right on. Okay, so I need you to settle the debate for me and my co-host.
Okay.
So a couple weeks ago, you came out and you're sporting a Bad Religion shirt. I'm a big fan of Bad Religion, right? But they also just have like really cool looking merch. Okay, is it okay? Because I'm a big fan of the Slayer T-shirts. Not necessarily. Are you a Slayer fan?
I love Slayer.
Okay, is it okay for somebody to wear the shirt of a band that they're not into if it simply looks cool? It's okay. You can say that. No, you're being a poser. You can't do that. It's okay to say that.
I think what the danger you get in is if you're not a fan and people. Because if I see someone wearing a Slayer shirt, I'd be like, hey, man, like...
Right. But it's like, no, I'm not really part of the club.
Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah.
Like, I feel like, I don't know. I buy a shirt because I'm like, those guys are awesome.
Yeah. Not because, look, I like skulls.
Right.
Yeah, okay, I feel you. Yeah, no, the problem with my co-host, though, and honestly, a lot of these interviews is just me running him down because he's not here, and it's awesome. I feel
his
so.
fault.
There's like,
He's not here to defend himself. It's his choice.
We kind of made a business decision for me to come and him to stay because like work has to be done.
Okay.
So, but he's the one who said, "Hey, you do better interviews." I don't even know. I mean, this interview seems to be going okay, but no, he's the type though. This is what bugs me. So like, I like Tool, right? I'm a big Tool fan, right? Got one of their shirts. He said, "Oh, what's your favorite song?" And I'm like, well, shit, I don't really know. Sorry. Shoot. I don't know any of this. Any of their.
Bleep
I'll
it.
bleep it. It's fine.
Blur.
Blur. I'll blur them. I'll do all that stuff. I don't really know any of the names of their songs off the top of my head, but I know that I like every single one that I've heard, and I've had many of their albums playing in my cars at many, many times. Like, that's a level of elitism that I just can't hang with.
Well, I mean, I think even that you're not a guy who's like, I don't know who Tool is. I just like the shirt.
Right, yeah. At
Like,
that
I
point,
think
I'm
that's
like,
too much.
so just the spiritual aspect of liking the band.
Like, Tool is weird. They have weird names for their songs, too. So,
Right, yeah.
like, Lateralis.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't like
yeah.
one of their songs, like the recipe I heard was like, one of their song lyrics is like a recipe for biscuits or something.
Yeah.
That's a weird group, man. That's a weird group, but I
Yeah.
really like their stuff. Anyways, sitting here talking about Tool, Shayna Baszler. Anyways, I'll wrap it up now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your
Thank
time,
you.
Shayna.